Hello, everybody.
Hello.
NFL Fantasy Football Week 4. We almost didn't do the show, but we're going to do it anyhow real quick. Grant encouraged that we do it. He's making his first appearance in a while, folks. Before we take a look at the individual matchups, we are going to take a look at Monday Night Football and all the happenings that went down.
It was a big one.
On that game, folks. All right, here we go. Starting right off the bat, we had questionable injuries, but in the end, Matt Forte got the start for Doug. He goes out there. What happens on his very first run from scrimmage? Okay, thank you. All right. A horrendous injury. Doug gets... I'm kind of pissed. Typical. There he is on the sideline. Thanks a bunch, Forte, you dunce bucket. Moving on later in the game. Here's Jay Cutler. Keterman needed a point.
Yeah.
Not one of Cutler's better highlights, but frankly, Cutler did what he needed where getting the pressure. Horrendous there, but Cutler did way better than Romo, as you'll see later, as in right now. Romo, do the Bears want a free 6 points?
We're going to go for the third time. Come on, big fella. Come on. Come on. Those pink cleats are really looking nice on him.
To the end zone! 6 more! Romo! Again! Overshoots a free touchdown. Travis Rook not liking this at all.
He's kind of bad. That's all I got to say about that.
Romo, I'm going to try again. Dropped by Dez Bryant. That's Doug's wide receiver. Doug could have used Dez Bryant. His bad. Later on, Cutler. Bullseye. That essentially winning. Whoops. Whoops. This would have given the Cowboys all the momentum. They review it. Elbow was down. Saving the Bears. Momentum switches around. We move to the fourth quarter. Cutler drops back to pass. Fires. Marshall's got it. Pelishak loving it. That almost locked things up with his Monday night matchup against Doug. Marshall proving that it was a worthy pick. 3rd and goal, Cutler looking. And frankly, not one of his better throws. Overshoots Marshall, but pass interference. Why wasn't it called, though?
I like to see it, folks.
Tipped on the line. Overruled. 27-10. Romo, I can bring him back. No. Dez Bryant, another drop for Doug. That was a dagger.
I'm pretty sure I could have caught that one, Lon.
Looking back, Romo, still only down 17. Whoops! Who was he looking for?
Obviously, the Bears.
Luke loving it. Vitsky's got the Bears defense. Cutler, Marshall, this is going to do it. JP was the gap between him and Doug was starting to narrow. That locked it up. Marshall's got a own movie show about him. He's got multiple personalities disorder. Romo, 5 picks. 5 big picks. He barely ended up scoring positive. Witten had a big night, though. Lemcool came close, but not close enough. Pelishak moves to 3-1. Doug 1-3. We're going to take a look at some of the majority of the matchups that weren't looked at in the show highlights. First, we had Jack beats Doug by 10.
It really was just overall Jack just trashed Doug in the Cowboys game. The clutchness of his players was just way too much for Doug to handle in that one. Doug puts up 96 but loses. That's one of the higher losing scores of the week. Except for me, of course.
Indeed it was. Doug, a very crucial loss. A big win for Jack and the Highs that continues to prove the best division. Moving on, we had Travis Rook, projected to be a really good team. Daniel Wilcher, never projected to win that much. But people really don't have faith in him. Wins big.
Well, Daniel Wilcher said on Facebook, quote, "I always predict to suck, and then I go berserk." And he went berserk, folks. Mila Kunis, super hot. He's hot team this week. He scored 92.6.
Flacco gets him 22. McGahee's 19. Not enough for Travis. Moving on, we had Grant. He put up 98. 9 times out of 10. That's going to get you the win.
It didn't get me done this week. I was going in. I was the 32.4 point favorite. What the is that? Zach, whops me 111.8 to 98.8. I didn't see it coming. Random A. Roberts scores 23.8 for him. I don't even know who that is. I mean, let's get away from me.
Roddy White gets 29 for Cook. Not enough. Cook falls to 1-3. He leads the league in points scored against him with 395. That's about 100 a week. Ricky Andrews looking for 3-1. He got it against Robin Hoods by 30.
Well, really, the story in this game is Aaron Rodgers putting up 28. That is just way too much for the Nazi Germany to just... Robin Hood can't come back from that.
Indeed, he couldn't. Robin Hood maybe a little too focused on homecoming week.
Way too much student summit.
Indeed. Lump, looking for perfection, takes it by 40.
I mean, all you got to say here, Team Dobson, he's free. He thinks he can do whatever he wants. But he got walloped by Lumpy's Leafy Legion. Can anybody stop this guy? I just don't think so.
Another big performance, another weak champion for Lump. His team is so well balanced. He gets 27 from a defense. Dobson is able to get 30 from Breeze. Dobson falls to 2-2. Lump, the only undefeated team left. Who can stop him? I can almost guarantee you his next week matchup isn't going to prove to be a problem. Speaking of that, Luke took on Jeremy. Jeremy scores 99. Luke back down to earth.
Well, I mean, Luke, he wanted his defense to carry him. They did. They scored 20, the Bears, but, ultimately, Germ Spiders, he got bit by that spider. He got the weird eye thing going on. He scores 99, and he just dominated.
In the end, look at the facts. Luke, 47, and he sat Matthew Stafford. He could have easily escaped the weak loser, but he ties Rook for it. And he starts Sean Hill, who scores 0. And not too shabby for, all the players in the same division. Moving on, Nathan Keeterman, a surprise 3-1 as he takes down Zach Allen.
Since Zach Burning's not here, I really got to put in Lenda Del Lobo, the worst name in the league again. I mean, he deserved to lose. He deserved to lose by more than that. I mean, that name is so bad. He should have a 10-point deficit to begin the week. Mature T-Kells, horrible name also, but, he's mature. So, he'll put up a nice 87.9 and take the victory.
Schwab, 16, not enough for Allen. Moving on, Mr. Muchacho is still winless as Bollinger gets the monkey off his back, gets his first win.
Sam is undefeated in cross country. Good job. But, you're 0-4 in the fantasy league, and what's more important in life? You might be at Stanford right now. Well, maybe you should be setting your freaking fantasy lineup. You got walloped by Sam Bollinger, who doesn't talk, by 20. Get out of here.
Incredible, as Wharton sarcastically said on the page, I'll get right on that, referring to his fantasy lineup. Doesn't really care. All hail the New York Police Department. Last but not least, we had Lynn v. Gatchel. Opposite ends of the social spectrum, Lynn wins.
Well, you can't really beat a person whose closest thing to comparing them is a math formula. John Lynn is like a math formula. He's like a robot. He mind-controlled Emily Ash in AP Bio. I don't even know what happened. She was stumbling. He mind-controlled her. She was magically good at the presentation. I mean, that's obviously what he did here. He mind-controlled the people that he was playing with. 83.1. Michael Vick goes berserk for him. 18.5.
Tom Brady gets the Psycho Trophy with 32. It was actually a pretty close game. Gatch gets edged by 7. We're going to take a look at Week 5's matchups as Lump continues his search for perfection. And it is a Thursday night special, so the matchups are already underway. Let's take a look at some of the points that have already been scored. Now, leading all so far with 3:15 left in the first quarter of the Cardinals versus the Rams is Team Lynn. He has 0.9 from Larry Fitzgerald, 8 from the Cardinals defense, and 3 from Jay Feely, taking on Jack Pelishak, who has 4.4 from Danny Amendola, and 1 from Greg Zulin from the Rams. He's a kicker, folks.
Sounds like Thor.
Indeed it does. Flawless Team Z-Boy. He's got 2.5 from Andre Roberts, the rando who went off last week, and Keeterman sporting the Rams D with 9. Aside from the points that have already been scored, we're still going to make predictions on Week 5. First up, Doug taking on Zach. Doug 1-3. Zach 3-1. Zach projected to win. Who gets it done?
I mean, obviously Doug's going to get it done this week. Mark Burning, a.k.a. Zach, used up all his luck last week against me. He put up 40 more points than he should. When you lose that much karma in 1 week, you're bound to rebound with a terrible performance. Doug's Buckeyes gets it done. Goes to 2-3.
I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to win barely just because I think this might be my breakthrough week. I really hope I win. Hopefully Zach loses. Next up, we have Jeremy Koenig taking on Dobson. Dobson started off 2-0, loses to taking on a team that is spider-infected. Who wins?
All right, between Jeremy's girlfriend and his spider-infected, I just don't think he can get it done this week. Team Dobson, Abe is going to carry him because we know Mark is garbage. They're going to win. That's all I got to say.
Next up, we have Lynn v. JP. This is one of the bigger matchups of the week. We're going to save that one to the end for game day. Next up, we got Mila Kunis, Robin Hood. Who gets it done?
I mean, Mila Kunis, really hot. Daniel Wouters has some funny posts and stuff. He said something really funny today. I forget what it was, but it almost made me laugh, which doesn't happen often. Robin Hood, too busy with Student Senate. Homecoming week. He is not going to get it done. Mila Kunis takes it by 5.
I'm going to say that I know Daniel likes it when I pick against him because that's when he wins, but I will, in fact, pick for D. Wilch this week. Robin Hood, frankly, is in over his head. He's got rando homecoming court kids turning papers into him. He has dance forms turned into him. He has too much on his mind, and frankly, he's a hit with the ladies. He's got to talk too much, okay? This is Daniel's game. Daniel takes it by 10. Next up, we got Rick Dog taking on Grant. Grant, he's 1-3. Could use the win against 3-1 Ricky.
I mean, obviously, I have the best name in the league. Timmer's Mom 69. She's obviously going to carry me to victory this week. Verhoff can't even do anything. Verhoff's got a kid now. You don't want any of that. He's getting fat. He's out of shape. I'm ready to go. I've been gypped the last 2 weeks or something. I don't even know. I get gypped every week, though. Here we go. We're going to take it big. Take a big one over Ricky. He's a hot team, but I'm going to cool him down.
I've been picking Grant consistently. He's such a high scorer, but keep in mind, Ricky is a high scorer, too. Rogers has been down. I'm going to pick Ricky. Because, Rogers is going to have an up week this week. Grant's players will flop. Next up, we have Nathan v. Muchacho. Who wins?
I can't believe I'm saying it, but Muchacho's going to get it done. He's going to Stanford this week, guys. That power of those people there, they're just going to pull a Johnny Lynn and mind control all of his people. And they are just going to go berserk. Mature T-Tettles. He's got a horrible picture as his thing. It's a weird mouse in a sweater. I don't know what's going on with that. He's going to definitely lose.
Also, something interesting. Wharton will never set his lineup, but he has no bias this week. So everyone is starting. No major injuries. And I really want to see Sam Wharton win to make the playoff race interesting between him and some of our other lesser teams. I'm going to say Muchacho by a field goal. Nathan loses. But it's close. Next up, we have, oh my, it's a 72-point difference. Lump is going to take on Luke.
The question is not who is going to win this week. It's going to be, will Austin Lumpkin put up over 100 more than Lucas Almighty? And I'm going to say he won't put up over 100 more, but he is going to cream him, and there's really no more discussion to be had about this.
I agree that we might see the first triple-point victory in the league's history. Lump, he can put up 120. We know Vinsky's capable of only putting up 20. I think it's a likely possibility. If Luke wins this matchup, I don't know what I'll do. I'll have to come up with something to do. I'm so for sure that Lump will win this.
He's going to have to not go to the AP government extra credit for 30 points.
That would hurt.
That would hurt badly.
Lump, we got some guests on the show.
Randomness. I think we got a dead squirrel maybe.
We will have a dead squirrel on the show in less than 60 seconds. But back to that matchup. I'm going to pick Lump, obviously, because, Luke is kind of... All right.
Whoa. Pretty bad.
Luke not agreeing with it. Next up, we're going to pick these last two quickies. All right. Bollinger, Allen, make it quick.
Allen's bad. His name's bad. He's bad.
I'm saying Bollinger, he's going to get hot. He's projected to win by 30. The projection's going to come through for him this week. Next up, Gatchel, Rook, who wins it?
Ethian homeless kids are kind of homeless, but I mean, Gabby Doug's the Seahawkers look homeless last week, so I'm picking the Ethiopians. They're fast at running.
I'm saying Gatch does get it done. Brady and company, they finally and Travis's Rook sliding. They can't really score all that much. All right, before we do game day, Zach and Luke were kind enough to join us after a hunting expedition. Let's see how they did.
There are 3 dead squirrels in the Lemko house right now. They're dead.
Steve would not approve. Really get him up close to the camera.
That's kind of gross, guys.
They were alive a few hours ago.
Oh, blood on the chair. There is
Get a towel.
There is officially blood on my chair, guys.
Did it get on the carpet?
We're gonna have to improvise. Grant's now crouching because there's blood staining on
Who
the chair
got the
forever.
kills?
Obviously, Lucas.
All right, Zach got
Zach
one.
got 1. Lucas got 2.
Right.
Lucas did kill an albino squirrel. He's a master hunter.
And he plans to discuss it more with Sentman in government, take up the whole class. Last but not least, we have game day. Jack Pelishak 3-1 taking on John Lynn 3-1. Pelishak projected to win by a lot, but Lynn has been known to win. Who are you picking?
We're going with Johnny Lynn!
Thanks, John Lynn.
He is a berserk freak of nature. He's going to mind control everybody. He's going to go berserk. Take this one huge. Look at this Japanese symbol. I wonder what it means.
All right, folks. I almost like Lynn. Look at that nice flag up there. But Pelishak, Matt Ryan, Jimmy Graham, Amendola's playing decent right now. I really like JP and
He's a little baby.
I'm liking JP a lot. All hail JP, the homecoming king.
He's a little baby.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. Glad we could do the show here for you late on a Thursday night special.
Thanks for having me, Doug.
Say goodbye. Adios. Thanks for watching.